So you're looking for a payroll provider, you've heard about Gusto and SurePayroll, and you've got some questions. Well, in this video, I'll be answering the questions of how these two platforms stack up against each other, definitively which one is going to be better based on both price and quality, and what you absolutely must know before making the decision to use either of these payroll services. And before we dive in, I want to mention I've got links to both in the description below that will help you to score some free money and support the channel. So if you decide you want to try out either one of these, feel free to use those links. So diving right in, what is Gusto? Well, Gusto is a modern HR and payroll platform that is specialized for small businesses. They've currently got over 300,000 small businesses using their service and are honestly industry standard for the most part. This is also what I use to run payroll for myself, and it allows me to save some serious money on taxes, which I'll explain a little bit later on. Diving right into the pros and cons of Gusto, the first thing to know is that they are a very user-friendly platform. I am not someone who wants to be bogged down in my payroll platform, going through all this minutia and everything. Like, I want it to be very simple and straightforward. Gusto makes it very, very easy for me every time I log in. They also have a very easy onboarding flow. So when you're getting started, super simple to get up and running, and you don't really have to know too much about payroll to do so. It also only takes a few minutes to run payroll. 3 out of 4 of their customers say they're able to run payroll in 10 minutes or less, and I am very much in the or less camp. I don't spend very much time in Gusto per year at all. They're going to take care of all of the taxes, withholding, and reporting, so you don't have to worry about payroll at all. You just go in there, you do what they tell you, and you're all set to go. They're also optimized for small businesses, which is very nice for me, and they're one of the most cost-effective options on the market, which is a very important factor in my case. I have a very simple payroll situation, so I don't really need anything too crazy. Really just want something that's going to get the job done, be easy to use, and cost effective. And on top of that, they do give you $100 when you sign up using someone's referral link. You don't have to use mine, but I do have it in the description below if you're getting some value here and want to support the channel. Now, on the con side, Gusto does get some complaints about their customer service. You know, they've got 300,000 small businesses using their platform that probably have a lot of questions, so I can see how that would cause some hangups. But personally, I've been using Gusto for a number of years now. I've had to contact their support team less than a dozen times, but I've never run into an issue doing so. I've always gotten a timely response, so for me, hasn't been a problem. The other thing to take note of, it's not free to use Gusto. No payroll platform is going to be free, but for the base plan on Gusto with a single employee, it's going to run you $46 per month, which is quite competitive in the grand scheme of things. Now, that pricing is going to vary based on which plan you choose and how many employees you have. So on that base plan, it's going to be $40 per month, plus an additional $6 per month per employee. So with a one-person business, you got $46, and it's going to scale up from there. One benefit here is that they don't actually start charging you until you run your first payroll. So if you want to load up all your information and just let it sit there and then run your payroll later in the year, perhaps, you're not going to be charged for that entire duration. You're just going to start paying once you run that payroll. So now that you get Gusto, let's talk about SurePayroll. Now, similarly to Gusto, SurePayroll is a payroll and employee benefits management company that started back in 2000. Then in 2011, Paychex, which is one of the largest payroll providers, I've actually got a video comparing them to Gusto, which you can find on the channel, brought them in as a subsidiary. Now, uniquely to Gusto, they've got a focus on a few specific use cases when it comes to payroll. These are going to be small business, so anywhere from 1 to 100 employees. This is the same category that Gusto primarily covers. They also cater to household employees or nannies, which is quite unique. Officer-only S-corps, which are commented on Gusto as well. Restaurants, nonprofits, and churches. Within these companies, they also support the following benefits for workers: 401ks, workers' compensation, health insurance, and pre-employment screening. Now, since they got started, they've run over 22 million payrolls and accommodate over 6,000 different kinds of taxes. They're a very versatile platform that supports both 1099s and W-2 employees, and they integrate with major accounting platforms like QuickBooks, Xero, and Less Accounting. So now you kind of get both platforms, let's talk about where SurePayroll really stands out. Well, a first and really big point for me is that they are actually more affordable than Gusto, and depending on which plan you choose, it's going to dictate exactly how much more affordable. The two options they have are full service and no tax filing filing. So let's dive into what both of these plans entail. Well, with both of them, you're going to get no setup fees or long-term contracts, deductions for Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, state and local taxes, multiple pay rates and bonuses, unlimited payroll runs with both fast payroll and no fees, direct deposit and online pay stubs, flexible payroll options including auto payroll, and award-winning customer service. So far, all of these things you're also going to be receiving on Gusto, so no differences so far from a feature standpoint. Now, on the no tax filing plan of SurePayroll, which is going to come in at $19.99 per month, plus an additional $4 per employee per month. This is going to make sense for you if you want to personally manage your tax filings every month. To me, that sounds awful, and realistically, you're probably going to need an accountant to work with you if you want to go down this route, but you are going to end up saving a little bit of money, so you're going to have to weigh that out for yourself. You're basically opting out of help with tax filing, which for me is a big reason why I want to pay someone to help me with my payroll. But there are some other, helpful features on this plan that are important to know about. First, they're going to help you calculate your employee paychecks. Any new hire reporting that's required by your state, they're going to help you out with that. They're going to give you a 4-day payroll processing window, and you'll be covered by the SurePayroll tax calculation guarantee. This is a guarantee that they will get your tax liability calculations right, and if they don't, they will pay the penalty that you're assessed. So pretty nice for peace of mind. Now, if you are a sane person and don't want to do the tax filing yourself, then you'll be looking at the full service plan of SurePayroll, which comes in at $29.99 per month, plus an additional $5 per employee per month. So with the same, one employee situation you're looking at on Gusto, you're saving $11 per month with SurePayroll on the full service plan. So with this plan, you're going to get your payroll taxes done for you, which is kind of the whole point. You're going to get a 2-day payroll processing window, which is going to allow you to run payroll a little bit faster. They're going to give you access to more resources, so things like posters and things like that you might need to hang up inside your business. And you're going to be covered by the SurePayroll no penalty tax filing guarantee. This basically means that SurePayroll is going to calculate your taxes, prepare and file your tax forms, make your tax payments, resolve filing errors, and pay any associated penalties for you. So again, more peace of mind here when it comes to actually filing your taxes. Now, one thing to note here is that depending on your actual use case, you might end up seeing some additional fees from SurePayroll. So it's not really all in one built in. There are some additional, monthly costs you might be looking at, which we'll dive into right now. First, if you need to do any kind of local tax filings, those are going to run you an additional $9.99 per month. If you need to do state filings in Ohio or Pennsylvania, those are also going to run you an additional $9.99 per month. There is a $4.99 per month accounting software integration fee. So if you do want to, set up any kind of integration, that's going to cost you. There's a $9.99 per month fee for time clock integration. So if employees clock their hours online, you want to integrate that, it's going to cost you. And there's a $3 per employee per month and a $5 per month base fee for the Stratus Time integrated time clock if you want to use that. So if you've got a very basic situation, you very well might come out ahead with SurePayroll. But again, all of those little extra fees there basically are built in with Gusto. So if any of those do apply, then Gusto may end up, being pretty comparable in price, if not being more affordable. Now, another place where SurePayroll really sets themselves apart is in their specialized use cases. So let's dive a little bit more into those. The most interesting of which is the Nanny payroll solution. So this is a very specific payroll product if you have a nanny on staff or if you have any household employees. This is going to be $49.99 if you've got one single household employee and an additional $10 per month for any additional workers. Now, a lot of people don't realize that they do need to be running payroll for their nanny or household employee. In 2024, the rule is if you're paying more than $2,700 to a household employee, you are legally required to withhold and pay Social Security and Medicare taxes on their wages. Easiest way to do this is to run payroll. Also, if you're going to pay your nanny more than $1,000 in any quarter of 2024, you're going to have to pay federal unemployment tax or FUTA. You also might owe state unemployment tax depending on what state you live in. Now, SurePayroll's household nanny solution basically makes it super easy for you to do all of that stuff, not have to worry about it, just log in and it's taken care of. So a pretty sweet and unique situation if that's the reason that you need to run payroll. Another perk is that they allow you to pause your service and keep all of your info loaded into SurePayroll if you need to step away or you don't want to be using the service for a little bit. So for example, if you're somebody who only runs payroll once a year, you can just run your payroll and then put it on pause for the rest of the year, so you're paying even less than that monthly fee. SurePayroll's also got great reviews at a 4.1 out of 5 on Trustpilot, and their only real complaints are to do with customer service, but there's plenty of other positive reviews about their customer service as well, so I wouldn't take this to mean that their customer service is inherently not very good. So all that being said, who comes out ahead here? Well, personally, I spent dozens of hours researching all the different options out there when it came to, making that decision for myself of where do I want to run payroll. So naturally, I'm a little bit biased because Gusto is what I use. I find them to be very cost effective, extremely easy to use, a lot more comprehensive than SurePayroll, generally better for, small businesses and solopreneurs, and that $100 sign up bonus doesn't hurt either. And all of these reasons kind of add up to why Gusto is kind of the industry standard for small business payroll. Now, all that to say, that doesn't mean there's no place for SurePayroll. I think it can make a lot of sense for small businesses that are extremely cost conscious and have very simple HR and payroll needs. Because if you want the absolute cheapest solution for running payroll, this is definitely it, with the base tier coming in at about half of what Gusto charges on their base tier. Also, if you are just looking for like a household or nanny solution, SurePayroll, it's built in, it's very easy to do on their platform, and so I definitely point you in that direction for that. But if you do want to sign up for either platform and support the channel, again, I've got links in the description below that will score you some free money, so feel free to use those. Let me know in the comments your thoughts between these two platforms. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.